Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today we will be speaking about, are you a fake alpha male? Please watch the entire video to figure out all the details. And guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and click the bell notification. Alright then, let's get started. Alpha reminds watchers that what you see online isn't dependably reality. It tends to be deliberate misdirection. Many individuals aren't guaranteed to individuals who shouldn't imitate or turn upward to. They can be swallowed and insecure. Being bona fide, certain, and kind to others makes you unbelievable and alpha. Distinguishing alpha posers. Number 1. They generally say no homo. Number 2. They are auto-lie irritating. Number 3. They humble gloat. Number 4. They generally should be in a relationship or around a lot of pretty girls. Number 5. They are continuously reminding you about how enchanting, attractive, savvy, gorgeous, mind-blowing, and astounding they are. Number 6. They are continually in each mirror an intelligent surface, trimming. Number 7. They are continuously flexing, showing off, and displaying. Number 8. They take and post plenty of selfies. Number 9. It's never their shortcoming and they never acknowledge liability. Number 10. They are mean and put others down. There are plenty of misleading divisions, left mind versus right cerebrum, nature versus sustain, etc. However, one truly constant fantasy that is, in a real sense, costing human lives is the qualification among alpha and beta males. As the story regularly goes, there are two sorts of men. Alpha males are at the highest point of the social status pecking order. They have more prominent admittance to influence, cash, and mates, which they gain through actual ability, terrorizing, and mastery. Alphas are normally depicted as the genuine men. Interestingly, they are the beta males, the powerless, accommodating, subordinate folks who are of low status and gain admittance to mates once ladies choose to settle down and go looking for a pleasant person. This qualification, which is often in light of perceptions of other social creatures like chimpanzees and wolves, paints a contrasting image of manliness. Besides the fact that it extraordinarily improves the multidimensionality of manliness and underrates what a man is fit for turning out to be. It additionally doesn't get at the core of what is truly appealing to ladies. As the articulation goes, all you see are nails when the total of what you have is a sledge. At the point when we force only two classes of males on the world, we pointlessly misdirect youngsters into acting in certain predefined ways that don't help draw in and support sound and charming relationships with ladies or make progress in different everyday issues. So it's truly worth looking at the connection between alleged alpha ways of behaving like dominance and engaging quality, regard and status. Think about probably the earliest arrangement concentrating on the relationship between dominance and allure. The specialists gave their members recorded and composed situations portraying two men communicating with one another. The situation changed on whether the male acted dominant or non-dominant. For example, here's an extract of a situation where the male was portrayed as dominant. John is 5 feet 10 inches tall, 165 pounds. He has been playing tennis for 1 year and is signed up for a middle-of-the-road tennis class. Regardless of his restricted measure of preparation, he is an extremely organized tennis player who has won 60% of his matches. His service is a major area of strength, for exceptionally his profits are incredibly strong. Notwithstanding his actual capacities, he has the psychological characteristics that lead to progress in tennis. He is incredibly serious, declining to yield against adversaries who have been playing significantly longer. Each of his developments will quite often impart dominance and authority. He will in general mentally rule his adversaries, compelling them off their games and into mental mix-ups. Interestingly, here's an extract of a situation where a similar tennis player is rather portrayed as non-dominant. His service and his profits are predictable and very much positioned. Even though he plays well, he likes to play for entertainment instead of to win. He isn't specially serious and will generally respect rivals who have been playing tennis significantly longer. He effortlessly lost his game to rivals who play with incredible authority. Solid adversaries can mentally rule him, some of the time compelling him off his game. He partakes in the sport of tennis, however, dodges profoundly serious circumstances. Across 4 investigations, the specialists observed that the dominant situations were viewed as more visually captivating, albeit dominant John was viewed as less amiable and not wanted as a mate. Fully trusted, this study appears to help the physical appeal of the dominant alpha male over the agreeable beta male. However, not all that quick. Enter A Concentrate by Jerry Berger and Mika Cosby. The specialists had 118 female students, read similar portrayals of John the tennis player, dominant versus accommodating, yet they added a significant control condition in which a few members just read the initial 3 sentences of the depiction. Steady with the earlier review, ladies observed dominant John as more physically engaging than agreeable John. Nonetheless, the John portrayed in the control condition had the most elevated evaluations of hotness of all. What's happening? Indeed, this unquestionably doesn't imply that John's incredibly concise 3-sentence portrayal portrayed in the control condition was physically engaging. Rather, more plausible catching wind of one or the other dominant or non-dominant conduct. Disconnection of other data about him made him less physically alluring. The analysts finish up. To put it, a straightforward dominant-non-dominant aspect might be of restricted esteem while anticipating mate inclinations for ladies. Then, the scientists tinkered with the descriptors of John. In the dominant condition, members read a short portrayal of John and were informed that a new character test observed that his 5 most conspicuous attributes were forceful, decisive, certain, requesting and dominant. Those in the non-dominant condition read a similar passage, yet were informed that John's 5 most conspicuous character qualities were agreeable, tranquil, delicate, timid, and accommodating. Those in the control condition read the short passage, yet were not educated on John's character. The scientists then, at that point, requested that ladies show which of the descriptive words used to portray John were great for a date as well concerning a draw-out better half. They found that only 1 lady out of the 50 students in their sample distinguished dominant as one of the characteristics she looked for in either an optimal date or a better half. Until the end of the dominant descriptive words, the 2 major victors were sure. 72% looked for this characteristic for an optimal date, 74% looked for this attribute for an optimal significant other, and emphatic 48% looked for this quality for an optimal date, 36% looked for this attribute for an optimal better half. Not 1 lady needed a requesting male and just 12% needed a forceful individual for a date and significant other. As far as the dominant descriptors, the huge champs were agreeable. 68% looked for this quality for an optimal date. 64% looked for this attribute for an optimal better half. And touchy, 76% for this characteristic for an optimal date and optimal significant other. Not 1 lady needed a complaint male for either a date or sentiment. Other low-position non-dominant modifiers were timid, 2% for dating, 0 for heartfelt, and calm, 4% for ideal, 2 for heartfelt. This examination was uncovering since it recommends that dominance can take many structures. The dominant male requesting, brutal, and conceited isn't considered alluring to most ladies, while the dominant male who is decisive and certain is viewed as appealing. As the specialists recommend, men who overwhelm others as a result of initiative characteristics and other prevalent capacities, and who in this way are capable and able to accommodate their families perhaps, will be liked to potential accomplices who miss the mark on credits. Recognizing the various shades of dominance and how they collaborate with thoughtfulness isn't only significant for figuring out physical allure among people. It additionally has profound ramifications for the development of social status. Dominance versus prestige. In our species, the achievement of social status and mating benefits that show up with it can be achieved through empathy and collaboration, similarly to such an extent, while perhaps not all the more so, as though hostility and terrorizing. Scholars across ethnography, ethnology, humanism, and social linguistics trust that something like two courses to social status, dominance and prestige, emerged in transformative history at various times and for various purposes. Dominance is cleared with terrorizing, dangers, and compulsion and is powered by hubristic pride. Hubristic pride is related to self-importance, vanity, against social ways of behaving, unsteady relationships, low principles, elevated degrees of offensiveness, neuroticism, self-absorption, and poor psychological well-being results. Hubristic pride, alongside its related sensations of prevalence and presumption, works with dominance by inspiring ways of behaving like hatred, aggression, and control. Interestingly, prestige is cleared with a profound surge of achievement, certainty, and achievement and is powered by credible pride. Credible pride is related to support of social and accomplishment, situated ways of behaving, appropriateness, good faith, fulfilling relational relationships, and positive psychological wellness. Bona fide pride is related to authentic confidence, viewing yourself as someone of significant worth, not as better than others. Legitimate pride, alongside its related sensations of certainty and achievement, works with ways of behaving related to accomplishing prestige. Individuals who are sure, pleasing, diligent, lively, kind, empathic, non-dogmatic, and high in real confidence rouse others and influence others to need to imitate them. These two courses to male social status have likewise been seen among the Tsimane, a limited-scale Amazonian culture. Dominance, as positioned by peers, was decidedly connected with actual size in this general public. In contrast, peer-positioned prestige was undoubtedly connected with hunting capacity, liberality, and the number of partners. Curiously, while advocates for acting dominant frequently highlight chimps as verification of the selectiveness of this course to male status, ongoing exploration has demonstrated the way that, even among primates, alpha male status can be accomplished through size and strength and proficient friendliness and the prepping of others. The benefits of prestige. While it's enticing from the above portrayals to conclude that dominance is terrible and prestige is great, that is altogether too short-sighted. What again and again disappears in conversations about being alpha or beta is the status is setting explicit. A CEO of a Fortune 500 organization has an elevated degree of status in our general public. However, on the off chance that he was tossed into everyone at Sing prison, he'd wind up at the lower part of the food chain. You can be an alpha among one gathering and beta in another. Regarding a cruel, hazardous climate, the dominant male is esteemed because he can get what he needs and give assets to the people who will submit to and follow him. He doesn't have to utilize abilities past strength and terrorizing. Yet, the prestigious man rules beyond unadulterated brute society, that is, a large portion of humanity's set of experiences. He is prepared to have the most outcomes in the vastest assortment of conditions. In one bunch of studies directed on college-level varsity competitors, dominant people were found to have lower levels of authentic confidence, social acknowledgement and appropriateness, and more significant levels of self-absorption, hostility, office, unsavoriness, and scruples. Dominant people were evaluated by their friends as higher in physicality and authority, but lower in generosity, helpfulness, accommodation, ethicality, and profound quality. These outcomes show that dominance and prestige address different approaches to achieving and keeping up with status. But on the other hand, it's worth indeed repeating the crossover. Characteristics like strength, initiative, generosity, and profound quality can exist in a similar individual. Severe classes of alpha and beta really set up a bogus division that darkens what a man is fit for becoming. While dominance might be favorable in a limited situation, prestige is undeniably more esteemed in every unique circumstance. Because of their true pride, prestigious people are bound to be regarded, socially acknowledged, and fruitful. Who might you rather have in your group, Kevin Durant or Dennis Rodman? Here is one more perspective on the distinction between the two courses of status. Dominance is a momentary technique for progress. Prestige is a drawn-out one. Dominance is a quality that can assist you with overpowering, yet it misses the mark on the capacity to oversee what you have won. Among chimps, when a male has battled his direction to the top and turns into an alpha, his satisfaction in that status is brief. One more dominant male will go along to challenge him and knock him off his lofty position. On a social level, people groups like the Mongols or Vikings ruled others and were the alphas in their time, yet couldn't adjust and ceased to exist. Prestigious men like the founding fathers have the option to make a heritage that forges ahead. To each her own. It is not the alpha or the beta male that ladies generally want. The examination proposes that the best individual for a date or significant other is emphatic, certain, agreeable, and touchy without being forceful, requesting, dominant, calm, bashful, or compliant. As such, a prestigious man, not a dominant man. The prestigious man who is high in emphatics and benevolence is viewed as the most alluring to people for momentary undertakings and long-haul relationships. This exploration should confirm that the decent, energetic youngster who masters a socially esteemed ability can be enormously alluring. Further, trying to become a prestigious man isn't unquestionably the surest course to progress with ladies, yet accomplishment in any everyday issue. In this manner, we think a substantially more successful and better course for men experiencing issues drawing in ladies isn't to endeavor to develop the attributes of the cliché dominant alpha, yet to develop the qualities of the prestigious man. It implies fostering expertise that carries worth to society and developing a steady feeling of personality. It's time we shed these high contrast classes and embrace a considerably more multi-layered idea of manliness. The most alluring male is a mix of qualities including emphatics, graciousness, developed abilities, and a veritable feeling of significant worth. The genuine alpha is fuller, further, and more extravagant. Well, that's all we have today. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.